are the essence of Bhagavad Gita, and the 9th and the 10th chapter is the essence of the essence. It is the quintessence of Bhagavad Gita. So we are on the 9th chapter. Anyone who has come for the first time, may please raise his or her hand. Anyone who is coming for the first time today? You were all there before in previous classes? Okay, good. So you have, this knowledge and information to what we are discussing. We are discussing the most confidential knowledge. And this knowledge is most confidential. Anyone remembers why this knowledge is most confidential? Yeah? You can raise your hand and speak. Anyone remembers? Yes, ma'am. Sorry, a little louder. Yeah, this is beyond academic knowledge, but this gives the comprehension of our relationship with the Supreme Lord. It talks about eternal relationship. All these relationships that we have in this material world, they last only till the body lasts. But this relationship that we have with the Supreme Lord is eternal. And how to revive that eternal relationship? So this knowledge is Raj-vidya and Raj-guhyam. So we have discussed first 3 verses. And before we proceed, we will have one prayers, because this knowledge cannot be comprehended by our own efforts or human intelligence. It requires the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So we will recite the prayers. Those of you who have the sheet can recite with us. Others can hear. It is given in the first page of the Bhagavad Gita also. If you see the introduction, in the first page, these prayers are there. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurun militam jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Presthaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Niti Namine, Namaste Saraswate Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Paschatya Deshadarine. Hare Krishna. So this chapter, this 9th chapter, is categorized in 4 sections. Go ahead. The first section talks about Raj-vidya, the king of education. So Krishna gives the glories of this chapter, and he speaks about the knowledge that he is going to impart in this chapter. Today we will discuss what knowledge is he imparting. So in the first verse, Krishna speaks that what is the benefit of understanding this chapter. Anyone remembers what are the 2 big benefits of understanding this chapter, 9th chapter? Sorry? Okay, that is faith. How one, strengthens one's faith is through association. Of course, knowledge also comes from association. What is the benefit of studying this 9th chapter? I'll tell you one story, a real story. When our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, was preaching in the West, you all know ISKCON movement started from USA. Everyone wants to follow what the people in US do. So our founder Acharya went to US and established this movement in USA. And he did not import any Indian to start this movement. He made Americans accept Krishna consciousness. He trained them, and then he sent those Americans to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. So Prabhupada was preaching in Paris, and one very big defense person came. He was the Admiral of Navy. Like we have Army General. So in the Navy, we have Admiral. That is one of the top positions. So one Admiral came and met Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada gave him the French edition of Bhagavad Gita because he was French person. And Prabhupada told him that this Bhagavad Gita is meant for warriors. You are a warrior, an Admiral. And Arjuna is also a warrior. So this knowledge is for those who are fighting the battle. All of us are warrior in a way. Why? Because we have to fight the battle against our mind, which is our most formidable enemy. So in that conversation, that Admiral was very inspired and convinced. So he said that, Swamiji, can you suggest one chapter of Bhagavad Gita which I should read? Because I hardly find time. I am very busy. I have so much of responsibilities. So you please assign me one chapter that I should study. So Prabhupada said that, okay, amongst all the 18 chapters, if you want to study, you study this one chapter, which is the 9th chapter, the most confidential knowledge. And this Admiral, he dedicated to Prabhupada and said, yes, Swamiji, I assure you that every day I will read from this 9th chapter. And one of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada who had introduced this Admiral was also witnessing this. And after 10 years, process of how to realize it. And one who realizes it, from him, all miseries in this life will be released. Yad gyatva mokshase ashubha. He will be free from miseries. Every one of us are making an attempt how to live a life which is free from all worries and miseries. But in spite of all our effort, we don't know the way. We don't know that path. But Bhagavad Gita is giving us that path. And what is the qualification required to come to this stage? Is to become, anyone remembers? What is the qualification required? Anusuyave, non-enviousness. Envy is the reason. See how Bhagavad Gita diagnoses the disease. This disease cannot be diagnosed by any doctor or consultant. Has any consultant ever told you, any doctor, आपकी बीमारी का जड़ का कारण है आपकी हृदय में एशिया? वो बोल नहीं सकता क्योंकि उसके हृदय में स्वयं एशिया है. How can he say? The one who is free from this deadly disease of envy, he can receive this knowledge. And then Krishna glorifies this knowledge. What are the characteristics of this knowledge? Oh, please keep. Okay, so this we have completed about Krishna giving the glories of this section in first 3 verses. And today we will discuss the, just the last slide. We will discuss the relationship of the Supreme Lord with this material universe. How the Supreme Lord maintains, sustains, creates, and annihilates this creation. This is also very mystical, very, very mystical, beyond our comprehension. There are 3 things. Jiva, living entities, we are all Jiva. Then there is this Jagat, which is this material universe. So much research is going on, but there is no conclusion. Why? Because to know Jagat, what we need to know? We need to know the Jagdish. If you want to know the creation, you must know the creator. So this is the interesting triangle, which is between Jiva, Jagat and Jagdish. Very interesting part. That we will discuss. We may not be able to cover the full section today, but we will at least begin. Okay. So we've covered 9.1 and 9.2. Krishna gives the 8 characteristics of this knowledge, which he is revealing in this chapter. What is the first thing? That is his Raj Vidya. This is the king of knowledge. And it is Raj Guhyam. It is very confidential. Although Bhagavad Gita is available to everyone, but one cannot receive this knowledge, and more difficult is to apply this knowledge. Why? Because it is a big secret. It is pavitram, it is the purest, it is the uttamam. So there are 8 characteristics which we discussed, and most importantly, it is dharmyam. It is the perfection of religion. What is the perfection of religion? Is to perform one's duty. We discussed that in the last session. So these are the 8 characteristics of this knowledge. And finally, who can receive this knowledge? In the last verse we discussed, one who has faith. Faithless cannot receive this knowledge. And one who does not have faith, after having an opportunity, what he has to come? He has to continue into the cycle of birth and death. Okay. So what is this knowledge? What is so extraordinary about this knowledge? So that we will pick up from the verse number 4 today. We will proceed. Verse number 4. Show it on the slide. The slide is there. Yeah. Mayā tatam idaṁ sarvam jagad avyakta-mūrtinā mat-sthāni sarva-bhūtāni cāhaṁ teṣu avasthitaḥ. Everyone with full enthusiasm. Mayā tatam idaṁ sarvam jagad avyakta-mūrtinā mat-sthāni sarva-bhūtāni cāhaṁ teṣu avasthitaḥ. Mayā tatam idaṁ sarvam jagad avyakta-mūrtinā mat-sthāni sarva-bhūtāni cāhaṁ teṣu avasthitaḥ. Now your turn. Recite. Oh, you want to recite? Very good.
avyakta-mūrtinā mat-sthāni sarva-bhūtāni teṣv
Very good. Thank you. Last time I told you, you remember? When the child begins to speak, whatever he speaks, it sounds such symphony. It sounds so melodious to the father and mother. Very good. Thank you for showing this spirit. Others are self-conscious. Okay, good. Mayā tatam idam sarvam jagad avyakta-mūrtinā mat-sthāni sarva-bhūtāni cāhaṁ teṣu avasthitaḥ. Seniors, recite. Luckily, we have less time. Time is limited. No, you have already done. You have already done. Yeah, go ahead.
mayā tatam sarvam
Mayā tatam idam sarvam
muktinā
jagat avyakta-mūrtinā
sarva-bhūtāni
mat-sthāni sarva-bhūtāni
teṣv
cāhaṁ teṣu avasthitaḥ. Okay, so we will try to understand this verse. Although this verse is in Devanagari, Sanskrit is Devanagari, the language of the demigods. Yeah. So now Krishna is giving his relationship with this material world, how he maintains and sustains this entire creation. So he says, Mayā tatam idam sarvam. By me, I pervade in this entire world. I pervade in this entire world. Mayā tatam idam sarvam. Where? In this jagat, in this cosmic pervasion. He pervades. The entire cosmic manifestation is pervaded by his presence. He is present everywhere. That is why one name of the Supreme Lord is omnipresent. Omnipresent. You heard or not? He is omnipresent. His presence is everywhere. In every atom, he is there. So, he pervades. How he pervades, that we will discuss. And how he pervades? Avyakta-mūrtinā. Avyakt means that he is not manifest. That means he is not visible. Although he is pervading, like in the atmosphere, there is oxygen, isn't it? Oxygen is there everywhere. But can you see oxygen? No. But if oxygen is not there, we cannot breathe. We will become breathless. It is pervading, but it is invisible. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is there in the entire creation. The presence of the Creator is there in every part of his creation. But it is avyakta. Avyakta means it is not visible. It is not manifest. And then further he says, mat-sthāni sarva-bhūtāni. That all the living entities, they are in me. Na cāhaṁ teṣu, but I am not in them. All the living entities are in me, but I am not in them. Okay? So far, okay? I pervade the entire cosmic manifestation. All living beings are in me. That means they all exist because of me. But I am not in that means I am aloof from them. We will understand this by analogies and examples also. One example is, you see the sun. What the sun does? The sun pervades. How he pervades? Through his energy. What are the two energies of the sun? What are the two energies of the sun which pervades everywhere? Light and heat. Isn't it? Light and heat. It pervades everywhere. Another example is the head of the state. Like the head of the state of our country is Prime Minister Modi. So the presence of Modi ji is there in IRI or not? No. Or yes? Yes. Yes. How? Because you have administration in IARI. Who is there is a director, right? Director is representative of Modi or not? How is he represented? Through his minister. And through the minister, there is secretary. And through the secretary, the director is answerable to the secretary or not? Agriculture secretary. And agriculture secretary is accountable to the minister or not? Is the minister accountable to the prime minister or not? So how he is permitting? Through his expansions, through his energies. It is the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not perceivable through the gross material senses. Yeah. How can we see the Supreme Lord with our senses? From our senses, from our eyes, we cannot see our own self. Can we see our own self? Many times people challenge us. If God is there, show me. What will be our answer? If you exist, you show me yourself. What you will show? You will show your external body, which is ever changing. Can anyone make the other person see his own self? No. So how can I make you see the Supreme Lord? We have to qualify. What is the qualifying factor? Prabhupada gives that it is said, ataḥ śrī-kṛṣṇa-nāmādi na bhaved grāhyam indriya sevonmukhe hi jihvādau swayameva spurati yada. Lord Shri Krishna's name, fame, pastime cannot be understood by material senses. Only to one who is engaged in pure devotional service, under proper guidance, is he revealed. So the spiritual truth is always revealed. It cannot be explored. Once, when Prabhupada was preaching in USA, so one American met him and he said that I have read the biography of Mahatma Ji, father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. And what is the title of the biography of Mahatma Ji? My experiments with. Can the truth be experimented? What we need to do with the truth? We have to accept it and apply it. Then we can progress. If we keep on experimenting, if one wants to experiment whether my father is the actual father or not, I want to experiment it. You keep on going the DNA test. Your life will be over. All the male persons in the world, you want to make a DNA test to check and verify whether the truth is right or not. So you need to do the experiment. No. That is why Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, na sate vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah. That which is temporary, it has no endurance. And that which is eternal, it can never perish. But how to conclude? After deliberating and knowing both, the difference between matter and spirit. So here, what it is said that who can understand this highest truth? One who is engaged in pure devotional service under proper guidance. Proper guidance means he is in the parampara system. Parampara system, you understand? Parampara means from the spiritual master to the disciple, not otherwise. One cannot be a self-appointed guru, as is the fashion today. Or one cannot have Google as his guru. Many people today, they have their guru as Google. If they want to have any query, they can, or now what is it? AI. AI is the new guru. Artificial intelligence. Now, in the Brahma Samhita, it is stated, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hrideshu Vilokayanti. One can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, always within himself and outside, both. The Lord is there, within also and without. If he has developed the transcendental loving attitude towards him, how can the Lord be revealed? Only out of love, not out of any other consideration. If one has developed the transcendental loving attitude towards him, thus for the people in general, he is not visible. Here it is said that although he is all pervading, everywhere present, he is not conceivable by the material senses. This is indicated here by the word avyakta-mūrtinā. Avyakt means unmanifest. Vyakt means which is manifest, which is visible. Like all of us at this time, Vyakta. Krishna speaks when he was giving the discourse between difference between body and soul. What he says? That in the beginning, everyone is unmanifest. In the medium, in the middle, they become manifest. Like we are all manifest now. But after leaving the body, what will be the situation? Again, unmanifest. But actually, although we cannot see him, everything is resting in him. So this is the principle. This is the point. That this entire material creation is resting on. He is the one who is the foundation. We have discussed this in the 7th chapter. In the entire material cosmic manifestation is only a combination of his two different. In the 7th chapter, Krishna gives a very beautiful verse to explain how he is the foundation or how is the source of everyone, how this world is resting on him. Anyone remembers the 7th chapter verse which Krishna spoke? And how he is avyakt also. He is unmanifest, yet he is the cause of everyone's existence. Many of you are wearing this mala. Matajis are also wearing. You wear this mala? Garland. So how the garland is sustaining? Thread. It is. What is the thread visible? And if the thread breaks, what happens? All the flowers will fall down. So these big universes which are floating in the universal orbits, how it is floating? If you want to send one Sputnik, or what are the now newer version? Discoverer, Atlantis, or what are the name? The one latest one which has gone. One Indian is there. Huh? Whatever. So does it go without fuel or it goes with fuel? Huh? Fuel is required. So where is that fuel coming from? Such big planets, such big universes are floating. And how it is happening? Automatic. That is what is our scientist answer. Because we do not know the source, then what we say, it is on autopilot. It is happening on its own. No. There is the creator. When once Albert Einstein, he made a very beautiful model. And he invited one of his scientist friend. And they were all having this discussion. So this scientist inquired that you made this model He said, no, I did not make this model. He said, how is it possible? That if you did not make this model, how this model manifested? How it came into presence? So he asked the same question. Well, if there is no creator, how creation has come into being? Very simple, very practical aspect. So similarly, behind the creation, there is creator. And here Krishna is declaring that I am that sustaining, that maintaining force. So here it is said that as we have discussed in the 7th chapter, the entire material cosmic manifestation is only the combination of his two different energies. And how he sustains? Very, very miraculously through his various energies. Like I said, the example of how the sun pervades through heat and light. How the head of the state pervades through his cabinet of ministers. Right or wrong? Similarly, the Supreme Lord pervades through his two energies. What are the energies? The superior energy and the spiritual energy and the inferior material energy. Just as the sunshine is spread all over the universe, the energy of the Lord is spread all over the creation, and everything is resting on that energy. One of the energies of the government is the police department. One of the energies of the government is the health department. One of the energies of the government is the education department. Right or wrong? So Mr. Modi is not present everywhere person. But how he sustains or controls? Through his appointed agents called the ministers. Yet one should not conclude that because he is spread all over, he has lost his personal existence. This is another point. This is another philosophical misunderstanding people. That because he has pervaded the entire creation, then his existence is lost. No. The sun pervades us every day. Is the existence of sun lost? No. To refute such an argument, the Lord says, I am everywhere and everything is in me, but still I am aloof. For example, a king heads a government, which is but the manifestation of king's energy. The different governmental departments are nothing but the energies of the king. And each department is resting on the king's power. But still, one cannot expect the king to be present in every department personally. That is a crude example. Crude example means it is not a perfect example. But something is given to relate and understand. Similarly, all the manifestations that we see and everything that exists both in this material world and in the spiritual world are resting on the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The creation takes place by the diffusion of his different energies, and as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Vishtravyam idam Krishnam. Then when we will come to the 10th chapter, Krishna will say that Vishtravyam idam Krishnam mama eko ansha sambhava, by his fragment, by his one fragment. He is everywhere present by his personal representation, the diffusion of his different energies. Okay, so how he is there? That everything is sustained, maintained by him through his energies. There are different energies and his expansions. And through them he maintains everything. Now see the next verse. This verse is even more mystical. Na mat-sthāni bhūtāni pashyame yogam aishwaryam bhūta-brinna ca bhūtastho mamatma bhūta-bhavana. What is that word? Na mat-sthāni bhūtāni pashyame yogam aishwaryam bhūta-brinna ca bhūtastho mamatma bhūta-bhavana. So here he says that yet everything that is created does not rest in me. This is very mystical. In the previous verse, he says that everyone and everything that I create it rests in me. And now, is he refuting it? No. He is giving a deeper understanding. That it does not rest in me like we all normally understand. Not that kind of rest. That all the weight and all the liability and all the responsibility is on one side. Not like that. Why? Because it is Aishwaryam. What kind of Aishwaryam? Yogam Aishwaryam. Behold my mystical opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, bhuta bhinna cha bhutasto, I am not part of this cosmic manifestation. Mama-atma, because he is the Supreme Spirit. There is no difference between his body and his soul. It's the same. He's a spiritual person. I am not part of this cosmic manifestation, for myself is the very source of creation. Are you with me? Are you applying your thinking to understand this verse? Very mystical verse. Previously, he said that everything that I created is resting in me. But now he is refuting that in a way. He is saying that everything that is created does not rest upon me. So how is it so? We will understand that. You want to say something? Huh? Or later. We will recite the mantra the next mantra. Okay? You want to recite? Very good. I'll make you meet one devotee. What is your age? Oh, very good. But you have good enthusiasm. Wonderful. Very inspiring that you want to recite. Yes. First is, most required is enthusiasm. No success can come without enthusiasm. And with enthusiasm, what is required? Only enthusiasm is not sufficient. What is required? Determination. Utsaha. With utsaha is required is nishchayat. Determination is required. And also what is required? Patience. Dharya. Because if you attempt also, you are determined also, things will not happen in one day. It may require practice. Long practice. Very good. It is very inspiring. We have one devotee who is hearing. His daughter is half your age. You are hearing? What's your name? Divyansh. We have one devotee who is 3.5 years. And she knows so many verses. More than 50 verses she has memorized. And she can speak from her memory. She cannot read also because she is too young. Very good. If you have the inclination and enthusiasm, Krishna will give you the ability. Krishna will be very pleased. This is where we are lacking. Why? Because we do not show the required enthusiasm. If we show a fraction of enthusiasm, the Supreme Lord is going to bestow all his bliss. Even if we don't have the ability, then also we'll be able to accomplish what experts cannot accomplish. That is called empowerment. In spiritual life, one progresses with empowerment, not with ability, with empowerment. Okay, so see what the mystical opulence Krishna is revealing here in this section. How he is aloof. Although he creates and everything is resting on him, he says that everyone is in me, but still I am not in them. Why? Because he's completely detached. In this material world, if there is a creator or if there is a gardener, if you go and pluck one flower from his garden, how will he respond? He will run after you with a stick. Hey, how dare you touch my flower? But even though he is the creator, he is the maintainer, he is also the annihilator of this. Why? Because he is completely aloof. This great quality of detachment. There is no sense of pride of doership. In every endeavor that we take in this material world, we have this attachment called doership. Doership. That I am the creator or I am the factor behind. But Krishna is completely detached. He is completely aloof from his creation. So the Lord says that everything resting in him, mat-sthāni sarva-bhūtāni, should not be misunderstood. The Lord is not directly concerned with the maintenance and sustenance of this material manifestation. And Prabhupada gives an example. Sometimes we see a picture of Atlas holding the globe on his shoulders. Have you seen? How many of you seen the picture of Atlas? नहीं देखा आप लोगों ने? सबने देखा है? So what is the situation? Just meditate on that pose. What is the position of the person who is holding the globe? Huh? He cannot bear the weight. He okay. But when Krishna wants to do something simply by his willing, everything is performed so perfect. How many of you have read Bible? Anyone? Oh, you have read Bible. So what does the Bible say? What did the Lord say? Let there be creation. Huh? Little louder, please. Yeah. So let there be creation. And as the Supreme Lord, he desired that let there be creation. Creation began. And we see that there was the first person. What was his name? Adam. And the other, Eve. And God forbid, do not eat that apple. And what they did? They ate the apple. And they became aware of their bodies, of their bodily consciousness. Before that, they were in spiritual consciousness. So after eating the forbidden apple, they became consciousness of their body, external consciousness. Internal consciousness is gone. Because they were bitten by the Saturn. You read or not? That fruit had the effect of the Saturn. So, if Krishna wants to do something, if the Supreme Lord desires to do something, only by his willing, that happens. That perfectly happens. Simply by his willing, everything is performed so perfectly that one cannot imagine how this is being done. The Lord explains this fact, although he is the maintainer and sustainer of the entire material manifestation, he does not touch this material manifestation. Simply by his supreme will, everything is created, everything is sustained, everything is maintained, and everything is annihilated. There is no difference between his mind and himself, as there is a difference between ourselves and our present material mind, because he is absolute spirit. Simultaneously, the Lord is present in everything, yet the common man cannot understand how he is also present perfectly, personally. He is different from this material manifestation, yet everything is resting on him. This is explained here as Yoga Aishwaryam, the mystical power of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is that mystical power? Krishna gives an analogy, an example, which is the next verse. We will take at least this verse also. What is the time? Oh, it is yet. We have time. Time is with us. Okay. So this is the Yoga Aishwarya. Although he is the sustaining and maintaining factor, everyone is dependent on him, but he is completely aloof, means another explanation and understanding that he is completely detached and he is completely independent. He is not dependent on this material nature, nor is he dependent on the created beings. He remains completely independent and detached from both. How to understand this? Krishna gives one example here. This is the 6th verse. Show the 6th verse. Yathākāśo sthito nityam vayu sarvatra go mahan tatha sarva-bhūtāni mat-sthāni iti upadhārya yatha akasho sthito nityam vayu sarvatra go mahan. The raging wind that blows. But where the wind can blow, it requires ether, Akash. Koi baat nahi. Good, very good. At least he has the desire to repeat. We cannot repeat every verse because we have to progress also. But you please practice. You please practice, and next time when we will come, I will hear from you. Okay, I'll give the mic to you. Okay, so will you practice? Divyans, please practice. And who will help you to practice? Mother? Mother will help? Very good. So both of you can practice. Help each other. You see, the child becomes the teacher. In our Krishna consciousness, we have many childs who have become the guiding force to their parents, to make them become Krishna conscious. Initially, there is resistance. Initially, they don't accept. But when they see after a few years the transformation and the merit, then gradually they also want to embrace. Because everyone wants to be happy. Who wants to be in distress? So the child can become a teacher. So you should encourage. You should always encourage such promising such child. So Krishna is giving this example that the blazing wind, however might it might have, but what is its limit? Where is it limited to? The sky. Without ether, can there be wind? No. Understand that as the mighty wind blowing everywhere, rest always in the sky. All created beings rest in me. And what is the impact? If there is a very strong wind blowing, sometimes there is this alert that there will be a very strong wind, which will uproot many trees and many poles. You see, it happens many times. There is a strong wind blowing. What is the impact on the sky? What impact is there on the sky? No, nothing. Is there any impact? No. So Krishna is giving the same analogy here. For the ordinary person, it is almost inconceivable how the huge material creation is resting on him. But the Lord is giving an example which may help us to understand. The sky may be the biggest manifestations which we can conceive. And in that sky, the wind or air is the biggest manifestation in this cosmic world. The movement of the air influences the movement of everything, right? Everyone on earth, we are influenced by the movement of this air or wind. The wind is not beyond the sky. Similarly, all the wonderful cosmic manifestations are existing by the supreme will of God. And all of them are subordinate to the supreme will. As we generally say, not a blade of glass moves without the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, everything is moving under His will. By His will, everything is being created, everything is being maintained, and everything is being annihilated. When we will study the 15th chapter, then more precisely Krishna will explain that how He is sustaining at the universal level, at the at all levels, at the universal level, at the cosmic level, and at the planetary level, and also at the personal level. Even whatever food we eat, what it requires? It requires fire of digestion. And that fire is called Vaishnava Agni. If that fire becomes less or more, then we cannot take food, If that fire becomes less, what we have? Indigestion. Indigestion. So who gives that flame completely balanced? Just imagine that fire is there within the abdomen. And if that fire becomes little more, if the fire within the belly abdomen becomes more, what it will do? It will burn everything. It will burn us. Has it ever happened? A person slept in the night. Next morning, he found ashes. He was burnt. So who controls that? Who has that temperature control? That is called the Vaishvanara. So Krishna will explain in the 15th chapter that aham Vaishvanara, praninam samahita, pranapana samabhutva, pachami annam chaturvidha. So I am that fire of digestion which helps everyone digest whatever he eats. So at all levels, at the universal level, all the cosmic manifestations, all the big planets which are moving in the orbit, you see what a perfect harmony is there. Airplanes move in the sky and they collide. How much space does the airplane occupy as compared to the sky? What would be the percentage? Very, very infinitesimal. But still they collide. And this such big gigantic universes are rotated perfect order. Why? Because the controller behind is not human mind. It is the Supreme Lord. It's perfect. So here it is how it is being maintained, how everything is being annihilated, how everything is being maintained and created by the will of Him. Still He is aloof from everything, as the sky is always aloof from the activities of the wind. So this is an analogy. This example is given. In the Upanishad it is said, Yat bhisha vatah pavate. It is out of the fear of the Supreme Lord that the wind is blowing. Taittiriya Upanishad. In the Brihadaranya Upanishad, it is stated, Etasya va akarshaya prashashne gargi surya chandramasau vidhauto tishtata etasya va akarshaya prashne gargi dvaye aprithviyam vidrato tishthatha. By the supreme order, under the superintendence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the moon, the sun, and the other great planets are moving. So everything is being under the control. Nothing is out of control. That is why we see there is a perfect control. There is no disorder. And in the Brahma Samhita, it is also stated, Yat chakshuresha savita sakala grahana raja samasta sura murti rashesha teja yas agnaye brahmati sambrahat kala chakro govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. This is a description of the movement of the sun. We see that out of the solar system, out of the universal system, which planet is the king? Is the sun. All other planets rotates around the sun. So it is said that the sun is considered to be one of the eyes of the Supreme Lord. Yat chakshu. Chakshu means the eyes of the Supreme Lord, and it has immense potency to diffuse heat and light. Still it is moving in its prescribed orbit by the order of the supreme will of Govinda. So from the Vedic literature, we can find evidence that this material manifestation, which appears to be very wonderful and great, is under the complete control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This will be further explained in later verses of this chapter. So in this 3 verses, the last 3 verses, 4th, 5th, and 6th, Krishna has given how he maintains and sustains this material creation. What is his relationship with this material world? Although he is the maintainer, sustainer, the foundation of this material world, but he is not a part of this material. He is aloof, he is detached. And how he creates and how he annihilates, that he explains in the further verses. I'll take 1 or 2 verses. We have time today. We still have time. So I will try to make use of that time. Normally we are able to discuss only 1 or 2 verses, but today Krishna is kind. 7th verse. Sarva-bhūtāni kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpashaya punasthāni kalpado visrajami aham. Sarva-bhūtāni. Sarva-bhūtāni means all the living entities. Not only in this human form of life, in all 8,400,000 species of life. All of them. So what is that? Prakritim yanti mamikam. So at the end of the millennium, they all become unmanifest. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature. And what they become? Unmanifest. And in the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. So this material nature or this cosmic manifestation, it has a cyclical nature. What is the cyclical nature? It is created and it is annihilated. But that duration is such a huge span of years. You know how much? 311 trillion. So no human has that record. 311 trillion years. The creation, the place here. These are very, very extraordinary knowledge which is being revealed. This knowledge you will not find academically. The creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this material cosmic manifestations are completely dependent on the supreme will of the personality of Godhead. At the end of the millennium means at the death of Brahma. Brahma is the first person who is born. So Brahma lives for 100 years. And his 1 day is calculated. You may know who wants to volunteer. How many years? Just see. See how many zeros are there? Come again. No, it is mentioned here 443 is mentioned. You see, the figure is 43. How many it is? Unit, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000. Is it 43 million? No, it is more than 43 million. 43 billion. It is 43 billion. So 43 billions of our earthly years. His night is also of the same duration. His month consists of 30 such days. So this is one day. 43 billion year is one day of Brahma. And Brahma has 1 month. And 12 such month is 1 year. And he lives for how many years? 100 years. It is unestimable. We cannot estimate the duration. His night is also of the same duration. His month consists of 30 such days and nights, and this year is of 12 months. After 100 such years, when Brahma dies, the devastation or annihilation takes place. This means that the energy manifested by the Supreme Lord is again bound up in himself. So what happens is there are two types of annihilation. One is at the end of day of Brahma, which is called the partial annihilation. And the other is the complete annihilation when there is the duration of Brahma is in. I'll tell you one example. Every day we sleep, isn't it? When we sleep, what is our situation? Are we conscious of ourselves? It is just like coming near to death. But what happens? Next day morning we are again awake. And do we remember that what happened when we slept? We don't remember. But at the end of the lifespan, also we sleep. Isn't it? When the soul leaves this body and enters into the next body. Okay? So these are the two types of changes or the annihilation. One is partial and the other is complete. So similarly, at the end of Brahma, there is annihilation which is partial. But at the end of duration of Brahma, which is complete. So when the duration of Brahma is complete, then all the living entities, they become unmanifest. Because the creation is wind up. Where the living entities goes and rest? In the Supreme Lord, in Mahavishnu. It is mentioned here, you see. After 100 such years, when Brahma dies, the devastation and annihilation takes place. This means that the energy manifested by the Supreme Lord is again bound up in himself. We do not come from monkeys. What some of our analysts or scientists say. Where we come from? From the Supreme Lord. We are created by the Supreme Lord. Some slides are there. Show the slides. Go ahead. What happened? Your cursor is not working. A little faster, please. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Show this modern conception of evolution. Wait. Yeah. Okay. This is the modern concept of evolution. Yeah. No. What all, from where all we have come. It is not so. It is not so. Humans were always humans and monkeys were always monkeys. It is never that the monkeys have become humans. And again, when there is a need to manifest the cosmic world, it is done by the will. Bahushyam. Although I am one, I shall become many. This is the Vedic aphorism, Chandogya. He expands himself in the material energy and the whole cosmic manifestation again takes place. Should I complete this section today? Yeah. Another one. You understanding? So, how he is creating? By his energies, by his expansions. And how he is annihilating? By his will. Prakritim swam avashthavya. Eighth verse. See the eighth verse. Prakriti swam avashthavya. Vishrajami punah punah. Bhutagramam imam krishnam. Avasham prakrite vashat. The verse is there in the, yeah. The whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again. And under my will, it is annihilated at the end. So this is cycle. There is the cyclical effect of when there is the day of Brahma, there is creation. And when there is the night of Brahma, there is annihilation. This material world is the manifestation of the inferior energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This has already been explained several times. At the creation, the material energy is let loose as the Mahatattva, into which the Lord, as his first Purusha incarnation, Mahavishnu, enters. So the Supreme Lord, as I said, how he functions? Not directly, through his expansions. So one of the expansions of the Supreme Lord is called Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu means that he is created for this material manifestation. And when the Lord Mahavishnu appears, then this creation begins. Before that, there is unmanifest. It is unmanifest. It is not visible. He lies within the causal ocean and breathes out innumerable universes. And into each universe, the Lord again enters as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So what happens is, from the exhalation of Mahavishnu, when he leaves the breath, all the universes come out. They manifest. And when so many universes manifest, he expands. He expands and enters into each of the universe. And that Vishnu is called as Garbhodakshaya. This is very mystical. Our human intelligence cannot catch this. How this creation is. That is why creation is still a mystery. But in the Bhagavad Gita, precisely Krishna is explaining how he does the creation. So he breathes out innumerable universes, and into each universe the Lord again enters as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Each universe in that way created, he still further manifests himself as Shirodakshaya Vishnu. So, how these universes are coming? He is the function, he is the cause. From Mahavishnu's exhalation, all these universes manifest. And in each universe, to begin the creation, he expands himself as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And when the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters into each universe, then creation begins. All the living entities, they are ejected. They enter. Garbha, you understand? Garbha means the womb. Where does the child lie before he comes out into the world? He lies in the womb of the mother. So that is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. From his womb comes out all the living entities. And when the living entities are manifest, he enters into the heart of everyone as the Paramatma or the Super Soul, which is called as the Shirodakshaya Vishnu. So there are three Vishnus. This is also very mystical. We only know about one Vishnu. But there are three. These are called the Purusha incarnation. Purusha means that is for the creation of this material. Without Lord Vishnu entering, there cannot be any creation. So he is the creator. As without the coming of the father and mother together, there cannot be a child. Can there be a child? No. Both have to come together. So by the glance of Mahavishnu, he agitates this material world and he impregnates it. So many universes comes out. And in each universe, he expands himself and enters as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And when the jivas manifest, he enters in everyone's heart, even in every atom. So he becomes the super soul, which is called the Paramatma. The super soul is there in everyone's heart. And he is so kind that the living entity may go in any species of life. from human species of life to any abominable species of life, the super soul is always the companion. Unless and until the living entity becomes liberated, the super soul never leaves him. That is why in the 5th chapter, Krishna says, idaṁ sarva-bhūtāni. He is the ever best well-wishing friend. Because he never abandons his friendship with the living entity. In whatever form he is, wherever he is. That is the relationship that we have with the Supreme. Okay. He still further manifests himself as Kshirodakshai Vishnu, and that Vishnu entering into everything, even into the minute atom. That fact is explained here. He enters into everything. Now, as far as the living entities are concerned, they are impregnated into this material nature. And as a result of their past deeds, they take different positions. So, all the living entities, what bodies they will receive is according to what activity they have performed in their previous life, which is called the law of karma. So, what body we will have in the next life, it will depend on our activity in this life. So, who is in control? Our actions, our karma. So, we should perform, we should be very, very conscious of our actions. Thus, the activities of the material world begin, the activities of the different species of living beings begin from the very moment of the creation. It is not that all is evolved. The different species of life are created immediately along with the universe. Man, animal, beast, bird, everything is simultaneously created. How many species of life are there? 8,400,000 species. In the creation of the Supreme, there are 8,400,000 species. But can the scientists find? Is it possible? Can they find even 1 million? But to speak of 8 million. Why? Because they are in the 14 planetary system, not only on the Earth planet. Every planet is inhabited by species. There is no part of the creation which is devoid of living entities. When our scientists, they reach moon, what they find? What do they find? Sand. Did they find any living entity there on the moon? No. There is no place in this creation which is devoid of living entity. You go inside the water, you will find aquatics. Right or not? On the land, there are so many mammals and inhabitants. In the sky, you see so many birds. And even if you go high, even if you reach the sun planet, there are living entities. Very simple logic. Those who live in water, what kind of bodies they have? What kind of bodies they have? Simple, yes? Very simple. See, the child will answer, but our complex mind will not accept. Water bodies. It is suitable for them to stay in water. In our bodies who dwell on earth, what kind of bodies we have which is conducive for earth, land? And birds, what kind of bodies they have? Air. Air component is more. Similarly, those who have fire in their bodies, they live on the sun planet. So there is no part of the creation which is devoid of living entities. So in all, there are 8,400,000 species of life. And why only 8,400,000 species of life? What is the reason? Why not less or more? Why only 8,400,000 species of life? Yeah. No, what is the reason? I'm asking the answer. I'll take questions. After the session, I'll ask for questions. There is a? No, there is a reason. Why? Because the living entities have so many desires. And the Lord wants to fulfill the desires of the living entity. As many desires, He has to create as many bodies. Just imagine what is the flight of our mind and how much it has imagination or desires. To fulfill those desires, the Supreme Lord has to create so many species of life to fulfill the desire of every living entity. So the most important point is they are created simultaneously. Different species of life are created immediately along with the universe. Man, animal, beast, bird, everything is simultaneously created because whatever desire the living entities had at the last annihilation are again manifested. So the two reasons are prime for getting the new body. One is our activity, which is called karma, and the other is our ichha, which is called the desire. It is clearly indicated here by the word avasham that the living entities have nothing to do with this process. The state of being in their past life, in the past creation, is simply manifested again. And all this is done simply by His will. This is the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And after creating different species of life, He has no connection with them. The creation takes place to accommodate the inclination of the various living entities. So one may ask, what is the purpose of this creation? Why it is created again and why it has to be annihilated? What is the purpose? Prabhupada is answering here. The creation takes place to accommodate the inclination. What does inclination mean? What is the word inclination referring to here? To accommodate the inclination of the living entity, various living entities? Is their desires. Is their desires. What are the desires? What is the desire focused on? To enjoy. How to enjoy? Everyone is thinking in his own zone, in his own ways, according to his own ideas, how he can enjoy the most. To fulfill that, the Supreme Lord has to create so many species of. And so the Lord does not become involved with it. Okay, I'll stop here. I'll take these two verses in the next session, 9th and 10th verse. So we discussed to some extent that how Krishna creates. This is called Yogeshwara. Although he is the factor, he is the main factor behind the creation. It is because of him the creation takes place, but he remains completely aloof and detached. Okay, show the last few slides to review. You are hearing? Okay. But it has to come on the screen. Understanding verse 9.7 and 8. It is coming on my screen. So you are showing. Okay, anyway. So let me review, let me summarize. It should not be that we leave and whatever knowledge is there, it remains in the book. We should not go empty-handed. What is the understanding? Okay, any takeaways? What are the takeaways from today's discussion? I would like to one point which you were able to relate and connect. Yeah, please speak. We discussed for more than 1 hour.
All the living entities are created by Supreme Lord.
Yeah.
The Supreme Lord manifests in terms of the living entities.
No, Supreme Lord does not manifest in terms of living entity. He is aloof. He is completely aloof. The Supreme Lord does not manifest in the form of living entities. Through his energy, through his expansion, he makes the world manifest. Okay, through him, this is the proper understanding. Through his energy, through his expansion, he makes the world. He is not directly involved. What is the example? Yes, like our Prime Minister. Any decision which the director takes, is the Prime Minister directly response? No, he is not directly responsible. Okay, good. Anything else? Okay, yes.
What destroys everything?
We say God is creator, operator, and destroyer. Okay. So he is the factor behind it. Okay. Yes, Divya.
Why God destroy when He create?
We have a question. Why God destroys when he creates? To create again. He destroys to create again. Why does the living entity die? Why does the living entity die? मृत्यु क्यों आती है? You have seen people dying, na? Why do they die? Yeah. So when they are old, they die to become young again, to be born new again. Wait. Let others also think. Others also think. Okay, what is your question?
One. Out of 8,400,000 species that are in being that you say.
That is not only in this planet Earth, that is in the entire creation of the Lord. And the entire creation of the Lord consists of millions of universes. So can we go to those millions of universes? No, not in these bodies. Not with our man-made machines also. So where we have to take this count from? Where we have to accept this count from? From the Supreme Lord. There is a verse in Padma Puran which explains the details of how this 8,400,000 count is there. Jalaja Navalakhani, Sthavara, Divimshati. I don't remember the full verse, but I can give you the verse. That how many aquatics are there, how many on land are there, how many reptiles are there, how many mammals are there. Every detail is. Yeah. It is not a whimsical figure which has come. Precise information is. So that is there in the entire universal creation. That is there. That is called Shastra. Padma Puran is there. I can give you the verse. I have it with me. A section of it is there with me. I can give you that. Good that you want to know. But most important is to know that why should we die? Why should we die? The most important question should be that after having taken birth, why should we not conquer death? Okay. So thank you all very much for your coming here. And I hope this knowledge from Bhagavad Gita will inspire us to inquire and to further arise our consciousness and to connect with the Supreme. Thank you all very much. All glories to Bhagavad Gita. All glories to those who are attending this course. Hare Krishna. All are invited for dinner. This year we want to do Janmashtami celebration in IRI. Are you all interested? How many of you? Raise your hands. Okay. So we will have to ask our Dinesh sir. We are planning on 10th of August. That is Sunday. That is the just Sunday before Janmashtami. Okay. 16th. That is Saturday. So obviously we won't be able to come on that day. We have a very big celebration in our temple. So on 10th we can celebrate here. Okay. So you please request Dinesh ji to first find out whether this is available or not for us. The main hall. Main hall. And we should do it in the evening. Evening is fine. Between 5 to 7. Yeah? Sunday 5 to 7 on 10th of August. Okay? All of you? Agree? Okay. So we'll bring one of the best kirtaniyas, the best singers, and we will all sing and dance. There will be a big party. Krishna's appearance party. Hare Krishna.